Puppy's coming over to say hi. I wish you guys can see her. Pause! Up! Yep, up! Good job! Can you see her? This is Fren. This is Esme. Thanks for clicking on the video. My name is Tess. I'm a property manager, realtor, and as of May, brand new Airbnb host. The purpose of this video is to share with you a couple of the very basic generic outlines of steps, just the process I did, I guess what I did. I'm going over different topics like financing, how I did that, how I found the qualifications of the Airbnb I wanted to host, how I found the actual house, how I decorated the house, and what I would recommend you guys do, and just all the way up to listing it. It's really just stay cumulative. Actually, I mean, it really happened over a couple days or weeks. But yeah, so if you're interested, keep on watching. Before you go any further, make sure to like this video and subscribe and comment any questions you might have. All of those things help push up the algorithm and help my channel, and it'll also let you guys know when I post new videos. Alright, let's get into it. So number one, financing. You might ask how I, at 19, based on the title, could finance a whole house. I actually decided to reinvest my stock portfolio money and, stock market into real estate. So I got my real estate license at 18. It kind of just goes with what I'm doing. I opened a property management company very recently as I started this Airbnb business. And I just knew that that was something I wanted to do, and Airbnb will be my retirement plan and just what I want to do with my life. So, why not use the assets that I have in the stock market to put a down payment on a house. So that's actually what I did. Finding the right Airbnb. So the whole point in this whole process is to reinvest wealth into real estate. So I had to kind of take my emotions out of it rather than buying a house that would be good just for me and my needs. I had to find a property that would accommodate all types of guests, that was accessible to other guests, that was close enough to shops and dining and specific tourist areas, being close to convenience stores, and my personal preference be a little bit secluded. I'm actually around 10 minutes outside of the tourist town, which is still pretty great. It's one big island. So this video isn't sponsored, but I did want to take a moment to talk about Rabu. Rabu is a similar website to AirDNA. It basically will take comps of not necessarily Airbnbs, but vacation rentals all around a specific area. So if you're thinking you might want a coastal property, for me, I just, plugged in coastal or those zip codes that I was looking in. So with Rabu, I could plug in a potential house I was looking at, and it would tell me how many others in that zip code or in that area were doing it that had the same exact house as me. So that's really helpful because you're looking at comps. It's the same thing as buying a house. It's really helpful because if I'm looking at a 1-bed, 1-bath, I can plug that filter in, and it'll show me all the 1-bed, 1-baths in that area and what they're charging. So I can kind of see, okay, this is how much I would make on average, this is how much I would make if I'm an overperformer or if I'm an underperformer. And in the first years, and with me not doing this before, I wanted to make sure at least the underperforming sector met the mortgage guidelines, even though I planned to be an overachiever. But it's always good to be safer than sorry, especially with investments. I wanted to make sure that my Airbnb was at least being paid for and, making some profit for maintenance, repairs, and marketing. Another helpful thing about Rabu is it helps you see all of your competition. So you can see if an area is oversaturated, if it's barely been tapped yet, or, and the most important thing to me is that occupancy rate. If that means that there's a lot of people booking there, and that'll help you see if your area that you're looking at is highly desired, and if that's somewhere you want to be. B&B hunting. So as you guys know, I'm a realtor. What we usually use to house hunt is the MLS. I actually don't have that coastal MLS yet, so I had to use Zillow just like you guys do, and it was a good experience. Obviously, the MLS has more of those documents like disclosures and different things that I love to see and I had to ask for. We talked about Rabu a bit earlier, and that's actually what helped me determine that North Topsail Beach, where I ended up going, was the right location for me. It's actually the cheapest coastal place in North Carolina for condos. They're the cheapest listings are on there. Now that's not necessarily the best thing, like cheap isn't always better, but for the first investment and this oceanfront, and a lot of these units were redone because of Hurricane Florence, I knew that it would be a good investment area for me after running all the numbers. So what initially drew me there was this 1-bedroom. I think it was either $60 or $180 $180,000 around that area. It was a 1 bed, 1 bath. Looks okay from the photos. So I decided to go out there and book a showing. I actually went and saw that 1 bedroom house. It was a little bit too small. Kitchen's really small. Probably most work needs to be done here, but. And then you have this view. So back to the initial point of finding a house that's hospitable for your guests and that's comfortable for everybody, that, you know, they're willing to pay that high dollar for. I realized that 1 bedroom that I was looking at was not it. So what I ended up doing was looking at a couple different units in that complex. I finally came across this 2 bed, 2 bath unit, and it was perfect. It had those beautiful light gray, white wood tile floors. So that was great for water, salt, and sand. Looked like very durable. The owners were very meticulous, kind of type A people, kept everything very clean. The kitchen was massive and updated, had beautiful white sparkly granite countertops, which is very coastal to me. The only thing was the appliances could have been updated. They are white appliances, but you know, it came fully furnished. There were bunk beds in the guest room. Master had a master bath. There were 2 bed, 2 bath. So master had its own bathroom, and they had their own queen bed. And then there was a couch in the living rooms. That one looked perfect to me. It matched up on Rabu. There are not a lot of 2 bedrooms on the ocean in that area, so the competition was a little bit down and people paid a lot more for that extra space with that very convenient on the ocean access. So it just planned out and it worked perfectly for me. Decor. So getting into the decor, right after the home purchase, I got right to work because I knew I only had a couple days at the property before me and my boyfriend had to get back into town for work. So I actually went prior to Home Goods, ordered some stuff off of Amazon, World Market, all of these places to get these cute little fine trinkets and beautiful wall pieces for the least expensive I could find. The thing that's hard is I had no idea how expensive home decor would be. Again, back to the original point, guest experience is everything. So I wanted to make sure that this place was chic, Insta-worthy, and beautiful for my guests. So I really went full out. I love the mirrors. I love simplicity. I loved those accent colors. I actually grabbed some boat anchors, like boat cleats, put them on the walls, drilled them in. My dad would be proud if you're watching. And as for like a coat rack or a key rack or something as you enter the door, this is a photo of it right here. I'm really proud of it. I thought it was so cute. And throw pillows. They make such a big difference on the beds and on the couch. And I actually had no idea how expensive they would be. But World Market and Home Goods really came through for that. But yes, I did not know how expensive throw pillows were.
Airbnb shopping.
We first haul from Costco and we're already at $181, so that's great. For the cleaning, you want to make sure that you have at least 2 sets for each bed, you know, of pillowcases and sheets, but preferably 3 just in case something happens. I guess the last thing I would suggest is to get that deep clean. Cleaning companies do it. It's a top to bottom clean, especially after buying a house. You don't know what's behind stuff. I found mirrors behind the couch and stuff under there, but definitely get good cleaners. If it's a beach house, no sand. Just have a clean house for your guests. Listing the property. So a couple nights later, after I got everything perfect, the house is clean, it was time to list it. So I actually brought my professional camera. It's a Canon, and I took photos of the entire house. I would highly recommend getting a professional photographer or using a professional camera. Photos are your best friend. You need a good cover photo because it's how you pick an Airbnb, it's how they pick an Airbnb. You need to have a photo that people will see, that's eye-catching, and that they'll end up wanting to click on, that makes them want to choose your place over your competition. This section about the listing thing, I'm actually going to make a separate video on because I could really talk about this for so long, but I will just leave you with this. If you have disclaimers, or if you have important details like parking passes, pet policy, noise levels, HOA restrictions, make sure to write that in your description, you know, multiple times. Include it in the welcome letter, include it in the check-in letter, but make sure people know and have it written there. First bookings. A couple days after I posted the listing, Airbnb takes about 24 hours to process it before they'll show results. I actually got my first inquiries for booking. It was really exciting. We had instant booking on for everybody, which we actually switched because it was kind of rough, you know, when people have no reviews, no profile picture. Yikes. So I actually switched my settings to require a profile picture and I think a review, a 5-star review. If they don't have those, they can still book, but they have to request it and I have to go in, and I can chat with them a little bit. And I just want to make sure my place isn't trashed. So if they don't have reviews, I will go that extra step and message them. But if they have good reviews and a profile picture and they've been doing this before and the reviews are 5 stars, why do I have to pre-approve it? So it's really personal preference, but I did have instant book on because probably 98% of our bookings have an instant book, and it's great, it's convenient. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, a comment, go ahead and share it, just subscribe. Anything helps the channel. I will be actually doing a video that's more in depth on some of these topics, especially financials. That's what everybody wants to know. And of course, stay tuned for more videos. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. See you later.